Okay, good morning everybody. We're a little bit off for the board there. Today we're looking at advanced phrasal verbs and idioms, and I take all of this vocabulary from a white book called Advanced Phrasal Verbs and Idioms. If you look for it on Google, you'll find it straight away. But I am actually writing a book with a lot of idioms and phrasal verbs, and it's because lots of people have bought my first one. So thanks everybody for the support. It means I'm writing a second one now. So if you want to learn about phrasal verbs, you can pick up a colour copy in Amazon, or you can pick up a black and white copy as well. This one's much cheaper, it's £20. This is the most popular one, of course, but this one's just got black and white images. But you can see plenty of exercises and plenty of answers at the back. You can find this on Amazon, but you can find the PDF on my website. If you get the PDF, you'll get hyperlinks that will take you straight to the answers. And so I hope it's quite a convenient format if you're working on the computer, if you're learning English on the computer. But these are all from a different book. I'll finish my book on idioms and phrasal verbs perhaps in next year, I think in about March or April time. It's only about 20% done at the moment. So let's look at some of these words. To pop the question, a lot of people know this one. This means to propose. And I want you to remember that propose usually means propose marriage. It doesn't have to mean propose marriage. It could mean propose some kind of business deal. You might make a proposal, but then you normally say it like that. You make a proposal. You make some kind of business proposal. If you propose, usually it's to your girlfriend or boyfriend, perhaps if it's the other way round. But if you propose, you ask that person to marry you, and we normally just say he proposed. Just like that, you don't even use an object, and it's clear that he went down on one knee and he popped the question. So pop the question is a very informal way of saying propose. But propose is the most common way. If you want to make it clear, he proposed marriage, but you can just say he proposed. Good morning, Champagne Supernova. So big day now. Your big day is very often your wedding day, but it doesn't have to be. It could even be your birthday. If there's lots of activities and that you've got a party planned for your birthday, well, that's your big day as well. So any important day, but usually your wedding day is your big day. Now, if you say it made my day, this means something made you really happy. So you might say something like, it made my day when I found out that my friend had found a new job. Yeah, it made my day. Yeah, it made me really happy. It delighted me. I'm over the moon that my friend has found a new job. So it made my day when I found out he's found a job. It's not every day that means that something is highly unusual. It doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen frequently. And so this one does mean what it sounds like it means. If you say something like, it's not every day that you win the lottery. It's true, yeah? You don't often win the lottery. Even small amounts you don't often win. And so it's not every day that you win the lottery. But it could be something completely different. You might say it. Usually you say it when you've been lucky in some kind of way. So quite often it's used for positive things. It doesn't have to be, but you might say something like, it's not every day that a person gets the chance to, I don't know, watch their favourite film at the cinema. It can be anything, absolutely anything, but just something which doesn't happen often. A good thing usually, which doesn't happen often. It's not every day that. Okay, the sky is the limit. We use this phrase when we mean that something is unlimited, that something has no limits. And so you might be talking about the profits that your business can make next year and say the sky is the limit. And that would mean that there's no maximum for the profits next year. They may keep going and keep going and keep going. And so the sky is the limit. It's unlimited how much profit we can make next year. But it doesn't have to be about profit. It can be about any other number. When you're saying the sky is the limit, you're saying there is no maximum number. it could be unlimited. It could be really, really, really big. So quite often it's used for when something is really, really, really big and you're saying it's so big it's more or less infinite. Okay, nothing but means only. If you say that guy is nothing but trouble, it means he's only trouble. And it could be used in a negative way like that, but it could be used in a positive way as well. You might say something like, he's been nothing but really helpful from the moment I've met him. He's only been really helpful, yeah? So it could be positive or negative, that one. It's very common. If something is off the peg, you normally use this to describe clothes. And if you say she bought an off-the-peg wedding dress, that means she just bought a standard one, not one which was tailor-made for her. So I'd say it's the opposite of tailor-made, because if something is tailor-made, it's bespoke. It's designed particularly for you. If it's off the peg, and if it's before a noun, it will need hyphens, of course. If something is if it's an off-the-peg wedding dress, that just means it's a standard wedding dress of a standard size, and it hasn't been made especially for you. Off the rack and off the shelf are very similar expressions. Very good point. Off the rack and off the shelf, very similar. Okay, the next one is wouldn't hear of it. Now, this is quite often used. It's used when you want to say that you don't want to let somebody do something which you consider negative. Maybe your friend has come to stay and they offer you some money to stay at your house, and you say, no, I wouldn't hear of it. Please don't give me your money. I wouldn't hear of it. And it means, you know, there's no way in a million years I will accept that money. And it could be used with wouldn't or won't. Let me try and think of a time when you'd say won't. So maybe your friend decides that they, I don't know, maybe your friend decides that they're going to get a taxi into town to go sightseeing. But you say, I won't hear of it. I'll drive you into town. Something like that. I'll drop you off in the city centre. I won't hear of you going in a taxi. Okay, so it's usually when you're trying to be kind to someone and you're saying, I don't want you to do that, I wouldn't hear of that, I want to help you. Okay, if that's unclear in any way, please ask a question at the end of the video and I'll do my best to go further. If something breaks the bank, it means it costs an arm and a leg. It means it costs an awful lot of money.